For centuries, the galaxy laughed at humanity. They were seen as weak, insignificant, and far too primitive to have any impact on the grand schemes of the universe. The advanced alien races of the galaxy ruled over star systems, controlling trade, technology, and knowledge. Earth was a small, isolated planet, tucked away in the farthest corner of the galaxy, and humans were nothing more than an afterthought and amusing curiosity at best. The galaxy's most powerful species, like the Varnak, a race of insect-like creatures with the ability to control vast fleets, and the Nexari, an ancient and wise species who had mastered genetic engineering, openly mocked the idea of humanity being anything more than a primitive species. Humans had nothing compared to the power and knowledge of these galactic empires. They barely had space travel, and their technology was years behind that of the galaxy's leading species. The humans lived in a world of division and conflict. Their planet was plagued with wars, political strife, and poverty. Despite their efforts to grow and advance, they remained stuck in their own turmoil. The galaxy watched from afar, shaking their heads in amusement, assuming that the humans would never rise above their current state. But the universe has a way of turning things upside down when no one is looking. It all began when a small research team on Earth stumbled upon something that would change everything. In the remote Arctic, an expedition uncovered the remains of an ancient alien ship hidden under layers of ice. The ship, unlike anything humans had ever seen, was far older than any known civilization in the galaxy. What made it even more astounding was that it contained powerful technology that could harness energy in ways humans had never imagined. At first, the scientists were baffled. They had no idea how to operate the ship or understand its advanced systems. But human ingenuity and curiosity led them to a breakthrough. As the team began to study the alien technology, they discovered that the ship was not only capable of incredible energy production, but could also be used to manipulate matter itself. This discovery opened the door to new possibilities that would change the entire course of human history. With time, the humans learned how to unlock the secrets of the ship. They reverse-engineered the technology and used it to develop weapons, engines, and energy sources that far surpassed anything the galaxy had ever seen. Word of humanity's discovery spread across the galaxy, and the alien races that once laughed at them began to take notice. The first to respond were the Varnak. They sent a diplomatic envoy to Earth, offering a trade agreement in exchange for the human technology. They saw the potential of these new advancements, but they underestimated the humans once again. Earth's leaders, now realizing their newfound power, decided to refuse the trade offer. They no longer needed to beg for scraps from the galaxy's powerful empires. The Nexari, sensing a threat to their own dominance, quickly mobilized their fleet. They sought to take the technology by force. But what they didn't know was that humanity's understanding of the alien technology had reached a point where they were ready for war. The humans had built weapons powerful enough to defend themselves, and they were prepared to fight for their survival. The Nexari underestimated humanity's determination. When the invasion force arrived in the solar system, they were met with fierce resistance. Humans fought back with a strength and creativity that the Nexari had never seen before. The alien fleet, so confident in their superiority, was stunned as human technology outclassed theirs. Earth's new weapons disrupted the Nexari's advanced systems, and their fleet was forced to retreat in humiliation. As the news of humanity's victory spread, other alien empires began to worry. They had all laughed at Earth, treating its inhabitants as little more than a nuisance. But now, they were forced to recognize the strength of the human spirit. The galaxy was starting to realize that humans were not just survivors, they were a force to be reckoned with. The Varnak, now fearing that humans could shift the balance of power in the galaxy, approached Earth with a new offer. This time, it was not a simple trade agreement, but a plea for an alliance. They understood that they could no longer ignore humanity's potential, and they feared what would happen if Earth decided to stand alone. The galaxy's other powers followed suit, each sending ambassadors to Earth, offering alliances and seeking human expertise. But humans had learned their lesson. They no longer needed to be subservient to anyone. Instead of submitting to the alien empires, humanity demanded respect. Earth's leaders were no longer the desperate, struggling politicians they had once been. They were now confident, united, and powerful. Humanity had earned its place in the galaxy, not by bowing to the powerful empires, but by standing tall and showing what they were truly capable of. Humanity's rise wasn't just a story of technological advancement. It was a story of spirit, resilience, and unity. The galaxy had mocked them, dismissed them, and thought they were nothing more than a footnote in the history of the universe. But in the end, humanity proved them wrong. They had the strength to rise from the ashes, to use their intelligence and determination to change their fate. And now, the galaxy would have to deal with the consequences. As Earth began to forge alliances with other species, it became clear that the galaxy had underestimated humanity's greatest strength, the will to survive and thrive against all odds. The once laughable species had become the most powerful force in the galaxy, and those who had mocked them could only watch in awe as humans changed the rules of the game. The galaxy had laughed at humanity, but now it was forced to recognize them as their greatest ally and their greatest threat. The age of humanity had begun. For centuries, the galaxy's greatest empires ignored humanity. The vast and powerful species that dominated the universe saw humans as nothing more than a fleeting, primitive species from a tiny, irrelevant planet called Earth. Earth was isolated, with humans struggling to advance, divided by war and politics. The galaxy's alien civilizations, with their advanced technology and knowledge, saw humanity as weak and unworthy of attention. They dismissed Earth as just another planet full of barely evolving creatures who would never amount to anything. The galaxy's top races, like the Varnak, Nexari, and Gorthax, controlled star systems, vast armies, and incredible technology. They knew nothing of struggle and nothing of survival. To them, humanity was a joke too primitive to threaten their rule. They didn't care when humans fought their petty wars or when they scrambled for resources. They simply waited for humanity to wipe itself out, as so many species had done before. But the galaxy had made a massive mistake. Everything changed when an ancient alien artifact was discovered on Earth. Buried deep beneath the sands of the Sahara Desert, the artifact was thought to be just another alien relic, something left behind by a species that had vanished long ago. No one expected it to be anything special. But when a group of human scientists uncovered the artifact, they were shocked to find that it contained technology unlike anything they had ever seen. It wasn't just a relic, it was a power source capable of reshaping reality itself. The artifact's energy was beyond human understanding, and its technology far exceeded anything the galaxy's most advanced races had achieved. At first, Earth scientists could barely comprehend it. But humanity's strength lay in their curiosity, in their ability to learn, adapt, and solve problems. Soon, they began to understand the artifact's secrets. The Varnak, the first to take notice, thought nothing of it. They sent an ambassador to Earth, simply expecting to claim the artifact for themselves. They offered humans a fair trade, a deal in which they would take the technology and allow humans to join their intergalactic empire. But humanity, fueled by newfound strength, saw the offer for what it truly was: an insult. They didn't need the Varnak's help anymore. Instead of submitting, humans began to reverse engineer the alien technology. Within months, they had built their own advanced spacecraft capable of traveling at speeds far beyond what the galaxy's leading races could achieve. They developed weapons that could tear through alien shields with ease. The Varnak were shocked when their own ambassador was turned away from Earth, no longer a welcome guest. News of humanity's sudden leap in technology spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The Nexari, always keen to maintain control, watched with growing concern. The Gorthax, a race of brutish warriors, prepared to conquer Earth, thinking they could crush humanity before they became a real threat. But they were wrong. The Gorthax fleet neared Earth. Humanity was ready. In a shocking twist, the humans used their new technology to disable the Gorthax ships before they even reached the atmosphere. The battle was over before it even began. The Gorthax, who had underestimated humans as weak and unorganized, found themselves running from a species they thought they could easily crush. Humans were no longer the laughingstock of the galaxy, they were a powerful force. This victory did not go unnoticed. Alien empires that had once laughed at humanity now began to take notice. The Nexari, who had long held themselves as the most advanced species in the galaxy, quickly began negotiations with Earth. They feared that the humans, now armed with this new technology, would disrupt the delicate balance of power. But the humans had no interest in becoming pawns of the Nexari. Instead, they demanded equality. They were no longer willing to be subjugated by alien empires. Humans made it clear that if they were to be part of the galaxy, they would do so on their own terms. They refused to join any empire. They would be independent, free to grow and evolve at their own pace. This was the turning point. The galaxy had underestimated humans for so long that they didn't realize how much power the human spirit truly held. The very traits that had once made humans seem weak: resilience, creativity, and an unyielding will to survive were the qualities that made them unstoppable. When other species faced crisis, they relied on their technology and armies. But humans had something deeper: their minds, their hearts, and the drive to overcome any challenge. The Nexari, realizing their mistake, offered humanity a massive alliance. They promised protection and access to advanced resources. But the humans knew better. They had the power now. They didn't need to rely on anyone. The galaxy was theirs for the taking, and they would not be anyone's subordinate. Over the years, humanity's influence grew. They established their own colonies, developed new technologies, and began forging alliances with other species that had once been ignored or enslaved by the empires. The once small planet Earth was now a central hub in the galaxy, with humans leading the way in technology, diplomacy, and innovation. The galaxy's biggest mistake was underestimating humanity. The alien races that had laughed at humans for centuries were now forced to bow before them. The tables had turned. The species that had been pushed aside were now the ones in charge. Earth's people had proven that they could overcome any obstacle, outsmart any enemy, and rise to become the most powerful force in the galaxy. As humans continued to thrive, their message was clear: never underestimate the will of humanity. The galaxy had made a terrible mistake, and now there was no going back. The future belonged to humans, and the galaxy would have to accept that reality. The age of humanity had begun. For as long as the galaxy had existed, humanity was the joke. Earth, a small, isolated planet in a far corner of the universe, was seen as little more than a blip, insignificant and weak. Advanced alien species from across the stars laughed at humans, mocking their primitive ways. The galaxy's greatest powers, from the technologically advanced Nexari to the fearsome Varnak warriors, viewed humanity as no more than an afterthought. They believed humans were too weak to ever challenge the established order of the galaxy. Humans, on their part, were used to being laughed at. Their planet had faced wars, hunger, disease, and countless challenges. But through it all, humanity never gave up. They were survivors. They had always fought back, even when it seemed impossible. It wasn't until the day they discovered something extraordinary that everything began to change. It started in a remote corner of the Sahara Desert, where a team of human archaeologists stumbled upon an ancient alien artifact buried beneath the sands. It wasn't just a relic, it was an energy source far more advanced than anything humans had ever encountered. The technology inside it was so sophisticated that even the brightest human minds couldn't fully comprehend its power at first. The galaxy barely noticed. Alien species, who had long dismissed humanity, didn't think much of this new discovery. It was just another strange object from a primitive world, they thought. But they didn't realize how much it would change things. The humans, however, weren't blind to the opportunity. They studied the artifact in secret, unlocking its mysteries bit by bit. They discovered that the artifact wasn't just a power source, it was a weapon. A weapon capable of generating energy far beyond anything the galaxy had seen. And that was just the beginning. Humanity quickly began reverse engineering the technology. Soon, they developed advanced weapons, shields, and ships that could rival the galaxy's most powerful empires. The galaxy's leaders, those who had long considered humanity weak and harmless, were caught off guard. They didn't realize that by mocking humanity, they had overlooked the one thing that made humans dangerous: their persistence. Their creativity. Their ability to fight back when everything seemed lost. The Varnak were the first to make a move. Seeing the potential of human technology, they decided to send a diplomatic envoy to Earth. They were prepared to offer a trade deal, thinking the humans would eagerly agree to any terms. But they were wrong. Earth's leaders, now aware of the power they held, rejected the offer. They no longer needed to bow to anyone. The Varnak were insulted, but they thought it was a minor issue. They never imagined the humans would fight back. The Nexari, however, saw the potential danger. The Nexari had been the galaxy's most powerful empire for centuries, and they had no intention of allowing a small, insignificant species like humanity to disrupt the balance of power. They immediately deployed a fleet to Earth, hoping to seize the new technology by force. They expected an easy victory. After all, humanity was still far behind the galactic powers in terms of military might. But what the Nexari didn't expect was the sheer determination of the human spirit. When the Nexari fleet arrived in the solar system, humanity was ready. They had built powerful defenses, advanced spacecraft, and weapons capable of taking on the galaxy's greatest empires. The Nexari fleet, confident in their superiority, underestimated the humans. They didn't expect such fierce resistance from a species they thought was weak. The battle was fierce. The Nexari tried to launch an attack, but the humans used their new technology to fight back with precision and strength. The Nexari's advanced ships and weapons were no match for the human ingenuity. Humans fought like they always had, fiercely, with everything they had. The Nexari, who had come expecting an easy victory, were stunned to find themselves on the losing side. The tide of battle shifted quickly. Human ships, using advanced energy shields and weapons, began to tear through the Nexari fleet. The battle ended in a complete victory for humanity. The Nexari fleet, once thought to be invincible, was forced to retreat. The galaxy was stunned. News of humanity's victory spread across the stars, and the galaxy's once dismissive view of Earth began to shift. The Varnak, the Nexari, and other powerful alien empires began to reconsider their position. No longer could they look at humanity as a joke. The humans had proven that they could not only defend themselves, but they could take on the galaxy's most powerful forces and win. The Varnak, realizing their mistake, approached Earth again, this time offering a true alliance. They begged for peace, offering vast resources in exchange for humanity's help in maintaining the balance of power in the galaxy. But humanity had learned from the past. They had fought for their freedom, and they weren't about to give it up now. They agreed to an alliance, but on their own terms. Humanity had shown the galaxy that they were no longer the helpless species they once were. They had proven that when the galaxy laughed at them, they would fight back with everything they had. They weren't just survivors, they were warriors. And now, the galaxy had to respect them. The once weak species had become one of the most powerful forces in the universe. The humans, who had once been laughed at, now stood tall. They had fought back, and in doing so, they had earned their place among the stars. The galaxy had underestimated them, and now it would never make that mistake again. For the first time in history, humanity was no longer the joke of the galaxy. They were its strongest, most resilient species, and the galaxy would have to adapt to the new reality. When humans were pushed, they didn't fall. They fought back, and they always won. The galaxy was a vast place, filled with powerful empires, ancient civilizations, and advanced species. Some had mastered the stars, while others had conquered entire star systems. The Varnak, the Nexari, the Gorthaks, all these races held the reins of the galaxy, their empires stretching across light years. They were the ones who had shaped history, built massive fleets, and developed technologies that humanity could barely dream of. But through all the grand tales of conquest and wisdom, one species was often overlooked. One species was forgotten, dismissed as insignificant and weak. That species was humanity. For centuries, Earth was seen as a backward world on the edge of the galaxy, where primitive humans struggled to build societies, fight wars, and survive diseases. The galaxy's most powerful races saw humans as little more than a passing curiosity. To them, humanity was too weak to ever pose a threat. They watched as Earth fought among itself, divided by politics, war, and resources. Humans, it seemed, were destined to be just another short-lived species, one whose rise and fall would barely be remembered. But what the galaxy didn't understand was that humanity had something no other species had, an unwavering will to survive. And that would prove to be their greatest strength. It all started with a simple discovery. In the year 2005, a group of scientists on Earth uncovered something that would change the fate of humanity forever, an ancient alien artifact buried beneath the ice in Antarctica. The artifact was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. It was a source of unimaginable power, capable of generating energy that far surpassed the technology of any galactic empire. The discovery sent shockwaves across Earth, and the leaders of the major galactic empires took notice. The Nexari, always keen to maintain their control, sent envoys to Earth, offering trade deals and alliances, hoping to get their hands on the alien technology. They believed humanity would gladly accept their offers, thinking humans too naive to understand the true value of their discovery. But the humans, having learned from centuries of struggle, were not so easily swayed. They realized that the artifact could change the course of their history. It wasn't just a power source, it was a weapon, a tool that could level the playing field and allow Earth to break free from the shadow of the galaxy's empires. For the first time, Earth's leaders made a bold decision. They turned down the offers from the Nexari, choosing instead to study the technology in secret, and soon they began to reverse engineer it. Within years, humanity had developed ships that could travel faster than light, weapons capable of destroying entire fleets, and shields strong enough to withstand even the most advanced attacks. The galaxy laughed. They couldn't believe that a species so far behind them in technology was suddenly able to create such powerful tools. They still saw humanity as a joke. But what they didn't realize was that, through centuries of war, hardship, and failure, humans had learned how to adapt, how to push through the hardest challenges, and how to turn their disadvantages into strengths. When the Varnak, sensing an opportunity, decided to invade Earth and take the alien technology by force, they thought it would be easy. The Varnak were a race of fierce, insect-like warriors with fleets of warships that could destroy planets. They believed they could crush humanity in a single blow. But they were wrong. Humanity fought back. Using their new technology, humans launched a surprise counterattack, catching the Varnak off guard. The Varnak, who had underestimated humanity's determination and resourcefulness, were stunned. Earth's forces, though small compared to the Varnak's vast empire, fought with a passion and creativity that the Varnak had never seen before. The battle was fierce. The Varnak's ships were destroyed one by one, their fleets scattered in retreat. The once mighty Varnak Empire was forced to abandon its mission, humiliated and beaten by a species they had once considered beneath them. News of humanity's victory spread like wildfire. The galaxy, once so sure of its superiority, was now forced to take notice. The humans, the species that had been laughed at, the species that had been forgotten, had just defeated one of the most powerful empires in the galaxy. But that was only the beginning. As humanity's power grew, so did its influence. The Gorthaks, an empire of ruthless conquerors, saw the rise of humanity as a direct threat to their dominance. They launched an attack, hoping to wipe out the humans before they could pose any danger. Again, humanity fought back with everything they had. The Gorthaks' fleet, expecting an easy victory, was destroyed in a series of battles that left the galaxy in shock. Soon, other empires began to realize that the galaxy had made a terrible mistake in underestimating humanity. The once forgotten species had proven itself to be a force to be reckoned with. Humans had fought back against the most powerful empires and won. They had defeated invaders, defended their home, and proven that their spirit could not be broken. The galaxy had laughed at humanity for so long. They had dismissed humans as a mere footnote in the history of the universe. But now, humans stood at the center of the galaxy, respected by other species, and feared by their enemies. Humanity had fought back, not just with advanced technology, but with an unwavering belief in their right to exist, to thrive, and to shape their own future. The galaxy's greatest empires had underestimated them, and that was their biggest mistake. The forgotten heroes of the galaxy were no longer forgotten. They were now the ones who would lead the way forward. As Earth became a shining beacon of strength and unity, the message was clear: humanity would never again be overlooked. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humans were no longer the forgotten species. They were the galaxy's new heroes. And no one would ever make the mistake of underestimating them again.